seriously hungry to drink. Yay, one viewer. All right, we are live. Welcome to my two viewers Welcome to Sunday night ChillStream. Got off work early. Today was a disaster day with this tropical storm, screwing up all kinds of things, and work has been pretty nuts. I have some work-related news that is both happy and unhappy. The happy news is I'm probably going to be making more money, so I'll upgrade the laptop and I'll actually get real internet because I'll be making like hundreds of dollars more per week. The bad news is I've been billing my company incorrectly, so I've been not getting paid correctly for 5 years, and I don't think I can sort that out without an attorney, and so I gotta go do that. But that's whatever. One way or another, I'll get it sorted out. But the show should improve because I'll just have more shekels in my pocket, and I'd be more willing to put some more. I mean, already I make an enormous effort here, but I'd be willing to put some more money into it. Get a new laptop and get full time, like whatever, high speed internet, and then I suppose the technical aspects of the show would be better. You're still stuck with me. You're still stuck with a crazy ranting loon, but they wouldn't be like when I yell and scream and I get crazy drunk and do stupid shit. It wouldn't lag. You wouldn't be like, what did he say? It would be perfect and smooth in 1080p or 4K or whatever camera the new laptop's going to have, and then that would be that. So this show, I got a ton of stuff. I've been wanting to do this topic for a long time. Judas Chaiwaffen, welcome to the show. I've been wanting to do this topic for a while, and I told myself I'm going to do it tonight. But there's other stuff I want to clean up. There's things I meant to get to a week ago or 2 weeks ago that I didn't get to. So hopefully we can get to all of it tonight because tomorrow's my day off, so I'm not worried. I don't have a whole lot of alcohol. I couldn't find Ouzo anywhere where I was, where I finished up work. So I ended up just buying a cheap bottle of red wine. So there's a limited amount of like, I can't get like wasted. I might get like a mild high, but not like wasted. So anyway, so that has both upsides and downsides. Anyway, title of tonight's show, which is going to be down here, which is Feet of Clay. The famous description of the Roman Empire was that Rome had a head of gold, shoulders of silver, arms of iron, a body of bronze, legs of wood, and feet of clay. And so what did that mean? Rome, its head and shoulders were gold and silver. Uppermost in the mind of Romans was always money. The arms of iron, obviously the iron swords and spears that they used to subjugate the people of their empire. The body of bronze was the bronze body armor, the breastplates that they had. The legs of wood were the ships that Rome sent out around the Mediterranean to conquer everyone and to bring back the taxes and everything, bring back all the animals for the circus and the conquered slaves and whatever. So, and the feet of clay, meaning that Rome wasn't really planted anywhere. That they would their footing was very poor. That it would crack and it was temporary. And so, obviously, the hint of that, the extent of the Roman Empire was Afghanistan. That's the extent of the American Empire. Afghanistan has been described by people who are historically minded as the graveyard of empires. That an empire, in the case of the Roman Empire, finally reached all the way out to Afghanistan, to where Alexander had been hundreds of years before. And that was the limit of the Roman Empire. When the British got there, that was the limit of the end of the British Empire. When the Russians got there, the Soviets got there, that was the end of the Soviet Union. And it is very likely to be the end of the United States because we have now left Afghanistan in a terrible way. So we have feet of clay. And a lot of people on the right or in the dissident sphere, especially on Twitter, are obviously they're celebrating our withdrawal from Afghanistan because they think this is a movement that indicates that there's a possibility that global homo is losing steam. That global homo is no longer is maybe on the back foot. You know what I mean? The empire is not done yet, and trust me, it's not going to be done for a while. It's a big, super rich empire, and we're not done yet, not by a long shot. But this loss is a significant loss historically, and so and the fact that Yankee go home, is another common view around the world, is that America also has feet of clay. There's no place we can be planted and strong and hold our own. It's just a matter of go in there, steal what we can steal, or subjugate who we can subjugate to extract the resources, and then leave. But aside from the clever historic bits, I actually want to talk about your feet. And I don't mean like the foot fetish people that seem to be popping up all over right-wing Twitter, but really human feet. And how a lot of stuff that is super cutting edge is not so cutting edge. So I'm gonna go show you a bunch of stuff. Well, let's show you this guy. Let's start with this. I have like 37,000 things to share on in my email. Like ridiculous number of emails. So let's see. Let's click share screen. I'm gonna share a picture of a dude. His name is Cal Dietz. Right? How's this gonna show up? Hey, wait, how's this gonna show up relative to the other ones? That's not 100% what I want. What if I do that? Okay, that's way too small. Come on, show the picture. That is, well, why would you do that to me? You do that on purpose, just to make me look bad. Wait, hold on, stand by. That's the one I wanted. Why can't I get that? Why can't I get that right there? Okay, let's try again. Because now I have a proper full-size picture of the guy. There we go. And you can see him. It's a pretty good picture of him. There's a lot of pictures of him looking scruffier. Ta-da! There it is. As always, we struggle with some of the technical issues on the show. So that man's name is Calvin Dietz. He's a University of Wisconsin Olympic training coach. He's a strength and conditioning coach. He's all over YouTube. You put in Cal Dietz, triphasic training, a bunch of other stuff. And this guy, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube about him. And he's something of a big deal in the world of athletics because he does train a lot of Olympians. So Calvin Dietz has come up with some really unique insight into making athletes stronger and faster. And I'm going to show you what some of those insights are. Oh, wait a minute. How do I go back? Oh, that was unpleasant. Now, this is him looking very. Now, why can't I just view that? All right. Oh, look at that. That looks terrible. This is going to look funny in some ways, but anyway. But it's still, it must be done. It must be done. Let's try that. That should be it. Let's see what we got. Yes, it's going to be huge. You can see it easy. Yes, he's standing in front of some kind of green robot with an enormous red penis. No, he's not. So this is he's talking about how athletes run fast. You see, it says Cal Dietz, University of Minnesota. I said Wisco, right? Head Olympic strength and conditioning coach. So The graphic you see over his shoulder, he's pointing to one, there's another one off to his left, is an athlete in while running. That's a computer simulation of how the legs move, the legs, knees, and feet move as they strike the earth as an athlete runs. And Calvin Dietz is an enormous fan of. Let me remove that. Of having people squat on their feet. Squat on one leg, like I'm going to show you. Let's see. Where's no? I'm looking through many Dietz graphics. Oh, here we go. All right, this is an actual dude. This is an actual dude. This is a human being in the correct position that he has them exercise. That is a beautiful thing. This is going to be beautiful because it's not going to look like a robot with a large red penis. It's going to look like an actual human being doing something vaguely athletic. Okay, so you can see this guy. That's the position that the computer graphic was. It's facing in the opposite direction, but this is what Calvin Dietz has his athletes do. To stand, if you look at the guy's feet, the critical thing is to look at this guy's feet. Look down at his feet. His heel, both heels, are up off the ground, and he's on his toes, right? He's got his arms out in front of him. What Calvin Dietz has his Olympic athletes do is get in that exact position, put a barbell on their back, and squat. That is to say, the front leg squats down while still on their toes and come back up. And he's got guys doing this with 800 pounds on a single leg, which is mind-blowing. It's just absolutely insanely mind-blowing. That is a ridiculous level of athleticism in one leg. And of course, you do it on one side, then you do it on the other side. And I doubt they do it for more than one rep. But the point is, athletes who could never squat 800 pounds, which is the number of men who can squat 800 pounds on the planet Earth, is probably less than 10. So the fact that you can have collegiate level athletes or Olympic athletes squatting 800 pounds on one leg with their toes driven into the ground is pretty amazing. So you go, how the hell does he do this? And Calvin Dietz's entire goal was to make people better, stronger, faster. That's what he does. That's why he's Minnesota's head coach for Olympic training. Now I'm going to show you another guy. That's a popular dude on social media. And that would be, where's he at? Here we go. Our friend. All right, we're going to view. This guy you might have heard of. This guy's name is Ben Patrick, and also better known as the knees over toes guy. So he's a young dude who's he's married and has a kid. He's got a YouTube channel, pretty wholesome dude all in all. But he had knee problems as a youth, and he was fascinated with basketball and this and that. And now he has an exercise coaching service where he coaches people to do what you see him doing there. So on the right-hand side, he's doing what's called a split squat. And I don't know, he has his hands empty at that point. But if you look at his feet, you look down at the sneakers he's wearing, his heel is off the ground. His toes on both his front leg and his back leg are driving into the ground, right? So you're like, okay, Calvin Dietz does this thing with his toes. This other guy does his things with his toes. The second image, you see him leaning back. He's got one heel off the ground, and the other one's actually kind of flat. But he's doing this leaning back, one leg out, do the hokey pokey thing. Okay, so what, James? Who cares? Well, the thing about this is it's not even though Ben Patrick has got, I don't know, 1 million Instagram followers, Calvin Dietz gets paid a lot of money to train Olympic athletes. Let's see a better one. Come on. How about that one? Here. Okay. Here's what these guys are doing. That's it. That is lovely. It's going to be a good image. Share screen. And it's funny that the latest in cutting edge athleticism and strength training is really, really, and I mean really fucking old. That is a picture of a plate from ancient Greece. And what you see is a guy doing a split squat. And I don't know how well you can see it, but in his hands are two objects. They look like big, actually look like loaves of bread or footballs. And they're not loaves of bread, nor are they footballs. They're an object that's called halteres. And halteres is like an ancient form of a dumbbell, what we would call a dumbbell today. So I'll show you some pictures of those. These are objects that they found way back in the day that nobody was really sure what they were looking at. Okay. And I'm going to share this. It's going to come out. Nothing I hate more than little tiny pictures. And there they are. So those are the actual stone objects. The ancient Greeks would chip stone so you could stick your hand inside it, right, and hang on to it and swing it back and forth or use it as a weight while you were exercising. What we call dumbbells today, the Greeks called halteres. And in fact, the French and the Spanish still use the term halteres to refer to what in English we refer to as dumbbells. So Calvin Dietz and Ben Patrick, 21st century exercise gurus, what they're telling you to do is exactly the same thing that they used to do in Greece, starting around in 690 BC, and going through up to the Roman era. I'll show you. There's a funny Roman mosaic, which I got a huge kick out of. This one here. It's a bit stylized, but yeah, you get the picture. You'll get the picture. Wait a minute. Which one is what? Hold on. What is this? Oh, get rid of that one. Yeah. Hold on. Share. Almost makes me wonder if I could show both of them at the same time. So this is a mosaic from Pompeii. And you can see a guy doing a split, and he's got those two things in his hands. And mind you, these are all little tiles. But what you might not notice, it's a little bit, can I dial this in bigger or no? I can't, whatever. You might notice, if this is probably better for family hour, that sticking out underneath his tunic, he has a rather large penis with a golden tip. So apparently the idea that you would be a super chad, a sexual super chad, if you worked out is a very, very, very old idea. And again, this mosaic, you could find it in Pompeii in Italy. So Pompeii was destroyed, as we all know, by a volcano in 79 AD. So the first time these stone dumbbells or halteres were used in Greece was 690 BC, and they were certainly used at least up until the era of Pompeii. So when you think about all those people, Um, you know, uh, the type of athletics they used to do back then, and then you say, well, we're so much more sophisticated today. Not if you know who Cal Dietz is, and not if you know who Ben Patrick is. Now, Ben Patrick is like social media guy. He doesn't have a whole lot of credentials. Cal Dietz is considered a much more serious coach. But everything old is new again. Now, if you go on YouTube, if you go in the YouTube search box and you type in knees over toes or knees over toes guy, you'll see Ben Patrick, and he does videos, him and his young wife, and they got a baby and a dog and stuff. And he's super enthusiastic. And he'll show you, even the stuff he has on YouTube, if you started doing it at home, you would get a lot stronger and a lot more athletic. The Cal Dietz stuff, he doesn't talk about just being up on your toes, but he actually, and this is as bizarre as this is going to sound, and this is going to sound bizarre, Cal Dietz tells his athletes to drive their big toe into the ground, not just a foot, but specifically put all their body weight on their big toe. And he gives there's like an hour-long thing. I'm not going to take stills from it. It's an hour-long presentation he did to the tactical community, which is police and military. And what he said is, he says, we watch athletes run. We watch them do a bunch of different things. We watch them on video, and then we analyze it in slow motion. Thank you, Judas Chai-Waffen, for leaving a like, by the way. So they analyze what these guys do, and then they see what works and what doesn't work. And they notice that at the end of their exertion, like when they get to the last 10 yards of the 100-yard dash, when their athlete's like absolutely completely gassed and he's just trying to get across the finish line, that their perfect, beautiful form, that perfect hyper efficient form they have that they had in the first 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards starts to break down in the last few yards. And then the foot hits the ground in an inefficient way, and they actually slow down. And they time it, like how fast did they go from 0 to 50 yards, then how fast did they go from 51 yards to 100 yards. And then they look at they look at everything that their body's doing. But they notice that these people, that the form that breaks down first is the feet. The feet stop. They become less and less and less perfect in how they strike the ground. And so the athlete slows down. And what they notice is if you strengthen the feet, the athlete goes faster the entire way. You make them faster. And that some athletes who claim they have knee problems or hip problems really have foot problems. And as insane as it may sound, if your feet are weak, the rest of your body's weak. So that's why I named the show Feet of Clay. Yes, it has resonance for the Empire of America getting kicked out of Afghanistan, but also for individuals. When you look at old people who have difficulty walking, they don't walk smoothly forward like this. You notice they kind of rock back and forth. They put their weight on the outside edge of their foot, not in by the big toe. And that weakness in your feet, pain in your feet, your body tries to compensate, tries to keep you stable in other areas. So as Dietz says, if your foot is unstable, your body will try to find stability in your knee, which it can't do. And then your body ends up finding stability in your hip because there's a lot more muscles around the hip and the lower back, and they're stronger. And when your body feels unstable, your brain gets frightened and cranks down on those muscles, and you get stiff hips or a bad back or a bunch of other things that are associated with modern day life, with sitting a lot, with sitting, driving, being in a computer, et cetera, et cetera. And people think, oh, I have a bad back, or my hips are stiff. And what Dietz has found from coaching elite level athletes is the problem's not in the hip and the problem is not in the knee. The problem, believe it or not, is in your feet, and specifically your big toe. So he gives a whole bunch of exercises, a bunch of different exercises he puts guys through. And I was playing around with this in the last few weeks. And amazingly, I run faster than I have in I don't know how long by every morning putting my foot up on some books and picking up my heel and driving my big toe into some books that I don't use. And it hurts. It sores. It doesn't hurt, but it feels sore. And after 10 seconds, your leg shakes like this, and you got to switch back and forth, left to right. But it's very astounding. And I, all those pictures I showed you of the stuff from all these clay stuff. There's tons of stuff like this. So where are we? Here's another one. Oh, here's another. Yeah, this is a good one. I think this one's also from Rome, and this shows an athlete. I'm not 100% sure what he's doing, other than he's got the dumbbells or the halteres in his hands, and he's got at least 1 foot, or 1 foot off the ground. With his heel up in the air. So where's this guy? Yeah, there he is. So you can see the objects in his hands, like the dumbbells. And if you look down at the bottom of the leg that's on the right hand side of the screen, you notice the heel is off the ground. So this method of using dumbbells and getting up on the toes of your feet or the balls of your feet to make your body strong is really, really, really old. Now, I doubt Calvin Dietz knows this, and I think Ben Patrick does. I've mentioned some stuff on his videos, and he's shown it. But it fascinates me that the cutting edge of sports science in the 21st century is the same that was being done in Rome and in Greece. I love all that shit. I eat that shit up. But and for me, listen, because I got a job where I sit all the time, and I don't, I'm very concerned with how strong I am and how long I'm going to stay strong. And with the regime, with social credit scores, I don't think you want to be like in a government wheelchair. Like you're going to be in a government wheelchair, on whatever Medicare for all, going down to the EBT store or whatever the fuck, surrounded by persons of color. And they're going to look at your social credit score and they go, oh, you watched, right-wing content, you went to a Trump rally, whatever, and they're going to say this in front of a room full of brown people who hate you, and you're going to be like, please don't knock me out of my wheelchair, and you're going to be beaten and abused, or you're going to be hobbling down the street with the fucking cane because you're weak and you can't stand and you can't move normally, right? And some 18-year-old dindu is going to come and fucking flatten you, right? And you won't even be able to get out of the way, right? And the reason why is because your feet are going to be weak, and that's going to make your legs and your hips all fucked up, and your body's going to get stiff, and you're going to get old before your time, and you're going to need medical care from people who hate you and want you dead. So what I suggest, because this stuff is free, and you can look up, you go in the YouTube search box, and again, you can type in Knees Over Toes Guy or Calvin Dietz, start looking at this stuff, and figure out how you can put this in your life. That way you can be more fit, stronger, longer, and, live long enough to see, the empire collapse and something new come up. Speaking of which, some empire people, listen, I meant to do this a couple weeks ago, but I don't know if you saw it. Barack Obama had his 60th birthday on a week or two ago. Right? And he had a big party out in Martha's Vineyard in his $15 million mansion. So here's the thing. If you were invited to the party, and I was not, but if you were invited to the party, this was one of the party favors you got. This video was floating around Twitter, and I grabbed it and made some stills. But as a guest, this is part of what you got. That, my friends, believe it or not, as you might find this shocking, is a bag of weed. Everybody who's Obama's guest got a bag of weed. And what it says on that little Post-it note, it says white cookies and then some other drivel. And at the bottom, it has a number. It says 0.19% THC. Now, Judas Chai, I know you are a big fan of the devil's cabbage. And so I don't know what 0.19 percent THC is, if that's super strong, is that medium strong. You can leave a comment in the chat. But I don't know, or if you ever heard of white cookies marijuana. But this was part of what you got at the Obama birthday bash. Not kidding. So the video, the guy sees this and he's like all happy. He's got a free bag of weed, and then he's he obviously lights a blunt and he's smoking a blunt and he's out there dancing around. And to think, I mean, it's not too stereotypical, right? That you're gonna party with black people and there's going to be a heavy odor of marijuana. You say, well, who cares? Well, Obama's considered an elite guy, and that this is what they do, right? This is what they really do when no one's looking. But everybody has a camera phone these days, and everybody's got an Instagram or something, and everybody wants to show that you were partying with the president. Now, here, this is the really, especially because I don't know, I consider Martha's Vineyard like that's really supposed to be creme de la creme kind of shit. The elites, every house worth $1 million or more, and this is an ex-president's birthday party. And I want to show you the food they got. And you think getting some weed was stereotypical? Check out this. Somebody passed the camera over the food. And yep, if you're thinking that Obama served his guests watermelon and brownies after they got high on his weed, or whoever, taxpayer weed, whatever the fuck that weed is, you'd be right. And I guess this is the dessert plate, right? A piece of watermelon and some brownies after you smoke weed. Like the brownie thing is so boomer, you know what I mean? But if I had a party and I had a bunch of black people over and I just gave them weed and watermelon, they really would think I was like the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. But this is a still shot from. This is the guy who lives in a $15 million house, and I'm thinking, not for nothing, this is not the highest level food. This is I'm not impressed. I am not impressed. Now, people would probably be unsurprised to know. I'm a big food guy, and I like watermelon. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when James, the not ex-president, and who does not live in a $15 million mansion. Let me show you my ingredients. What it looks like when. Which one is this one? Okay, that's the Obama one. Get rid of that. Yeah, here we go. This is when I have a 60th birthday party, and depending on what the price of Bitcoin is, I may have some of you guys over. But this is going to be the ingredients of the watermelon that I'm going to serve my guests. Okay. Here we go. So what do we got in the center? We got a watermelon, right? And the left in that little plastic jug is actually pickled onions. Very easy to make. In front of the watermelon, we got honey, dried mint, and then there's a plastic tub of feta cheese from Greece, olives also from Greece, and balsamic vinegar. So when I eat watermelon, these are the ingredients of how I eat watermelon. When James here at home, you can see that's my real house that OV makes fun of. Those are the ingredients. And then here is what the final product looks like. This is what you'll have at my 60th birthday party. Although I'm not scared, no weed. There's not going to be any weed. There will be no weed involved at all. Zero weed, bro. I am very, very anti-weed. Everyone knows. What did I do? I clicked it off. No, that's right. There we go. So, where's this? This is what it looks like when I eat watermelon. And I assure you, this is on fucking orders of magnitude beyond what Barack Obama serves his guests. So that's a watermelon salad. It's watermelon, pickled onions, Kalamata olives, feta cheese, drizzled with balsamic vinegar and a little bit of honey, sprinkled with dried mint. Trust me, boys, you make one of these, you give it to a girl, and you give her 2 glasses of wine, and you can party like a fucking rock star. Do you understand what I'm saying? Bob Paxson, the Boomer Paxson has arrived. Yes, feta, real proper feta. Judas Fly Chai, love the vapes. That's great that you're into the 21st century aspect of THC consumption. But yeah, watermelon and feta salad. By the way, easy enough to just go on YouTube and in the search box above me and just type in watermelon and feta. There's like 27 versions of this, but this is mine. How we doing, Bob? Hopefully the storm, I guess, is not washed Atlantic City away. So good for you. Glad to see that you are still amongst the those on high enough ground that you didn't get washed away. So that's how I eat watermelon, and like I'm not kidding you. That is absolutely banging. I eat that all the time. And the watermelons I buy are the ones from Walmart. They're like a cantaloupe. They're like $3.50 each. So I buy those. I could buy like the mega big ones, but then you got to cut it and put it in the Tupperware stuff, and it's too much of a pain in the ass. It's easier to buy like 3 little ones for $12 than 1 big one for $12. It just makes more sense, especially because I'm living alone and I'm not eating it. I'm not using an entire watermelon at once. That was like a third of one. So that's Obama. Don't, an Obama party, like you're stoned, eating just a crappy pantry dropper. Pantry dropper makes it do that, and you will be a panty dropper for any female that is in your vicinity. Anyway, okay, so that's Obama. That's the watermelon thing. That's his party. Okay, that's that. We have to move on because there's plenty of things going on. Plenty going on. We're ignoring, of course, Bob Paxson's famous. Who doesn't love Bitcoin more than Bob Paxson? It is the apple of every boomer's eye. Let me remind you that everybody wants your Bitcoin, and that there are tons of people on Twitter and other platforms that are looking to get you to get rid of your Bitcoin. This is the one I pick on her all the time. This is the astrology witch, whatever, who lives in the Lower East Side or lives in the Bowery. And the date of this tweet was August 8th, 2021. And she says, yes, I did open a new moon short from my hospital bed because respecting the fucking rock does not care about excuses. Now, this woman, like I said, she works for Goldman Sachs or the Fed or I don't know who, BlackRock, or some consortium of the three, right? And she's a social media influencer. So when she says respecting the fucking rock, I just hear bow down in front of the Rothschilds. I absolutely 100% hear the Rothschilds saying we own the planet, but she's going to make it right. You got to make it sound hip for the kids. Respect the fucking rock. Like we own this rock. We're the Rothschilds. Well, honey, I got news for you. Bitcoin does not respect the fucking rock. As of the time of this show, actually, as the time she made this tweet, August 8th, 2021, Bitcoin was 43,000 and change. As of the time of this show, we pumped over 50,000. I think we're at 50,200. Let me do a quick corn check on the price of corn right now. At this very moment, $50,110.91. So opening a short means she bought a contract on Bitcoin futures that she thought Bitcoin would go below 43,000. That was 2 weeks ago. Here we are now at 50,000. So Little Marin got her ass kicked if she actually did it. But it doesn't matter if these people lose money because she gets liquidated on these contracts and the Federal Reserve just prints more money. But wait, Marin, we got tons of Marin stuff. We got tons and tons and tons of Marin stuff. I got to even here. Let's see this one. I should have cropped this. Would have been better if I cropped it. So now she starts to hedge. Here's her hedging, because which one was which? Oh, fuck, I don't show the same one. No, I'm showing the right one. The problem is people who think they're traders, people who watch Bitcoin, watch the price of Bitcoin all the time. It's a little too small. Can I make that bigger? Not with the minute. Not with the what is this? Is okay. Let's see what it says. RE, the fact that we barely dumped in comparison to other new moons is really bullish. Not longing till maybe the 19th, but probably on or before the 22nd for the full moon. So you have to acknowledge that your little prediction of respecting the rock didn't fucking work out, did it, honey? So let's get rid of that one. And where's another one? Okay. Yeah, I definitely should have cropped these, because when I crop them, they come up bigger, and it looks better. It looks better. Share screen, Chrome tab. Boing. So did it come up? And is it up? Yeah, so there it is. I'm not 100% sure if you could read it, but so it looks like she misspelled it. Yes, today flipped long will add more on the 22nd onward after full moon. So she's still playing this game. She doesn't acknowledge that her short contract got liquidated, or she lost a ton of fucking money. And she doesn't explain why the planet and all these planetary forces, which supposedly control the price of Bitcoin, didn't work. No explanation. Just like all these communist authoritarians, it's always the eternal now. Forget about yesterday's failure. That never happened. Now, do what I say now and don't question it, okay? And the thing is, the people that trade Bitcoin, and I do not suggest you do that. It's very limited in the United States. You can only do it through the Chicago Mercantile Exchange with futures contracts, calls, meaning you expect the price to go up, or puts, meaning you expect the price to go down. Outside of the United States, you can do very different things, but it is illegal for these other exchanges, Binance, the ones in Europe and stuff. You can't open an account in America. They will not allow you to open an account in America, so you can't do perpetual futures contracts. So who cares? So what? I wanted to try and understand this. I want to try and understand how they're manipulating or trying to manipulate the Bitcoin market. And apparently, and this is my theory. Okay, this part's not theory. For the last 5 years, during options expiration week, or OPEX, which is the last week of the month, the S&P 500 usually rises 1 or 2%. So fucking what? What's 1 or 2%? Well, when you're moving around hundreds of millions of dollars, if you know you can buy on Monday and sell on Friday and make 2%, that's real money. And if you do it with options, which are leveraged, it's not 1 or 2%. You're going to be making 20 or 30 or 40%. Now, why is that? Apparently, the underlying security, what they call the spot, moves towards wherever the most cash is. And if all the cash is on the third week or the fourth week of the month on options, the spot is going to move towards whatever price that is doing. So if it's all calls, it's going to tend to move higher. If it's all puts, it's going to tend to move lower. Apparently, this is the way the stock market has been working for about the last 5 years, every single month, like clockwork, except in the last couple of months, it's completely broken down. Finally, the efficient market has caught up to what these options guys are doing. They're pricing things differently. And now, options expiration week, the last week of the month, the S&P does not rise 1 or 2%. it's either flat or maybe goes up 0.5%, which means all these guys who made all this fucking money have to find a different thing to do to make money. So what? These are the market manipulators. These are the masters of the financial universe. These are the methods they use to manipulate the stock market. And that works in a number of different ways because the stock markets are limited. They're only open 5 days a week. They're only open for 7.5 hours a day. There are government instituted trading curbs. If the price goes down too much, they stop the whole trading. They do this, they do that, and there's also stuff behind the scenes. Bitcoin, however, doesn't do that. Bitcoin trades 24/7 around the fucking globe without permission, and no government stops it, and no government can do anything. So all of their traditional, let's put a lot of put options here, or let's put a lot of call options there, and move the price of the underlying security, in this case Bitcoin, we'll move it this way or we'll move it that way. That conventional strategy against an unconventional asset is absolutely failed. So Marin, the astrologer, who's making a prediction, this is what the people at Goldman Sachs do. This is what BlackRock does to manipulate the conventional markets. So they figure, well, shit, if it works on Wall Street, it'll work on this little Bitcoin thing. Except Bitcoin is a honey badger who doesn't give a fuck and does not respect the planet. So it's good to see them losing. It's good to see them get their nose bloodied. I don't know what else they're going to do or how they're going to do it. Actually, I do. I didn't clip this, but Marin. Oh, here's the thing I just remembered. OnlyFans. Everybody knows OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans no longer accepts adult content. No more porn on OnlyFans. What happened? OnlyFans only got famous because all these women were supposed to be making money doing porn. Okay. What do you say? What am I smoking, Paxton? Okay. The reason why OnlyFans had to shut down the adult industry, their adult content, is because underage girls were sending in porn videos, and you can't even watch that. Like they want, like the incentive to make money, dance around your bedroom in your underwear and do stuff to yourself. You'll make $1 million. You know what? Every 14-girl or a lot of 14-year-old girls are going to go, yeah, I want to do that. However, you can't even view that content. If you view that content, now you're viewing kiddie porn. And the people who run OnlyFans, who are really trying to run a business, are like, holy fucking shit, what do we do? Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. And all the new accounts, and they have all these people who are literally trying not to watch the content to get approved. They're like, holy fuck, I'm not doing this job, because to determine whether or not this is OnlyFans worthy means I'm engaging in an illegal act. So OnlyFans had to shut it down. It's very interesting. They didn't shut down adult content out of a moral principle. They shut it down because they're going to get sued to fucking oblivion and thrown in prison for fucking watching kiddie porn. That's pretty funny. Okay? The nature of this degenerate stuff burns itself out real fast. And our little astrology friend, Marin, was like pissed. Oh, she's pissed because, all vegetarian astrology chicks who live in the fucking Bowery and make millions trading cryptocurrency, even though she's wrong all the time. They're all into porn, And she's like, hey, what other tokenized platform can I get into that's not like OnlyFans? And I thought, okay, so she works for Goldman Sachs and the small hats, and she wants to push degeneracy. Well, somebody else who a name you'll recognize also weighed in on the exact same, how come OnlyFans no longer does adult content? And that person is Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden, who I didn't follow anything from that guy. But Edward Snowden, the one that made the movie about the NSA trader who had to run to Russia, the renegade truth teller who's apparently, even though America hates him and wants him dead and whatever, thrown in prison, he's on fucking YouTube all the time and he does whatever he wants. He doesn't get censored at all, right? Like he's on YouTube nonstop. You look on the search box for Edward Snowden, tons of shit on Edward Snowden as of 3 minutes ago. Okay. But Edward Snowden also, when he sees that OnlyFans is no longer accepting adult content, he types in Bitcoin fixes this. When I tell you, and I'm telling you, they want your Bitcoin so fucking bad that they can't see straight, and they will use every tool, every inducement, every fear, everything to get it. Everybody wants it. And you should not ever, ever let them have it. Okay? If you're going to give up your Bitcoin, you better get something back for it. Something worthwhile. Here's a good tweet. Come on, load up. There we go. There we go. This is you see how tech heavy I am? What dominance I have in the screen share battle. Come on, show it. There it is. The second largest mortgage company in the United States will begin accepting Bitcoin from their clients. It's a story, August 20th, 2021, from CNBC. So this idea that, Bitcoin's not real money and it's a Ponzi scheme, blah, 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 blah. It's just for drug dealers and people smoking weed. By the way, the people smoking weed are hanging out at Obama's fucking watermelon party. Everyone... Now, listen, if you're giving up Bitcoin for a house, well, I guess you're getting a real thing, right? But if you're giving Bitcoin to some cam whore because she showed you her tits, you have literally given up like what's going to be generational wealth. What is going to be generational wealth for a picture of some broad's tits, like some roasty, wants to show off her... whatever she wants to show you, and you're going to give her the world's reserve currency for some titty pics? Really? At least get a fucking house from it. Get a house. That was a nice looking house, the one I just showed you. Get a house, or get whatever piece of land, commercial property. Get something for it. Don't just be a coomer and a simp. Like, oh, I love you, girl dancing around in her underwear that I've never met before on the internet. Here's some Bitcoin. You know what I mean? You've made a smart move. You've gotten rid of your Zog bucks. You've gotten the next global reserve currency. You custody it yourself. Hang on to it. Don't let people scare you into getting rid of it, con you into trading it for something else. Don't let them convince you that, you could just get, like, it's an act of freedom. It's an act of freedom and rebellion to send your Bitcoin to a cam whore. Yeah, Edward Snowden? Fuck you, you cocksucker. You fucking small hat. You're Mark Zuckerberg's fucking cousin. Fucking tell me who the fuck you are. You can go fuck yourself. I hope some fucking drunken Russian fucking driver just plows right into you as you're staggering across the street in Moscow one day. Paxson. Hey, Zoo, welcome to the show. So you have to remember, they are out to get you. You don't believe they're out to get you. And listen, honestly, here she is again. Here's our girl, our gal. And you know how arrogant the communists are. You know how arrogant the small hats are. They will tell you exactly what they're going to do because they think you can't stop it. But we're going to stop this. Is the attachment opened up yet? There it is. It is, in fact, opened up. I downloaded a new version of Chrome, too, so this hopefully should make it everything smoother. But Zoo, late to the show, my income will be increasing, so I'm going to upgrade the hardware and get real internet. So here's Astrology Bitch again. They will inflate away the currency and price 99% out of all assets while distracting with media narratives. If not aware and or no coiner, probably not going to make it. And that is 100% their plan. That is absolutely 100% their plan, right? You will own nothing and you will be happy. Oh, really? Well, if you're hanging out to Zog bucks, if you're hanging on to the little green pieces of paper controlled by the small hats, yeah, you're going to own nothing because that paper is going to be worthless. It's going to be worthless paper. You'll own nothing, and whether or not you're happy, they don't fucking give a rat's ass. Okay? She says if you're a no coiner, and that is Bitcoin, only Bitcoin, nothing else. Nothing else except no substitute. You're not going to make it. So you want to make it, you have to own Bitcoin and custody it yourself. Do not leave it on. Good night, Bob. Listen, thanks for showing up, bro. I appreciate it. You got to custody it yourself, and do not let them have it. Right now, $50,000 Bitcoin. Obviously we're still underneath the all-time high of 64,000, but people are going to start getting excited again. Hey, oh my God, the Bitcoin's back, blah, 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 blah. Lamborghini, something or other. When Bitcoin hits 100,000, 250,000, 500,000, and that's not that far off. I'm telling you, it's not that far off. And Marin and her little friends at Goldman Sachs and BlackRock, and they don't control it anymore. As they fail to control Bitcoin, they're going to switch tactics. Different things are going to happen. Another thing about hyperinflation, and this is a great story from, did I even put it on the fucking, where is it? Oh yeah, I love this fucking story. I love the story because people are not going to like it, but it's completely illustrative of what is going to happen. Best fucking story was 2 days on the front page of the New York Post. Not one, but 2 days. Can you guys guess what it is? Can you guess what this? You guys don't watch the New York. You don't see the New York Post. Post is. I love that paper. They have the best headlines. Absolutely the best headlines. Period. End of story. There it is. Kabul, NYC. Man at ATM attacked with hatchet in Manhattan. There's video of this. It's crap video. They don't really show it. But story is as you might imagine. One, the dude on the left, on the top photo in the dark outfit with the mask. Thank God he's wearing his mask, huh? Walks into an ATM somewhere, and the dude in the white shirt is at the ATM. Guy's got a hatchet in his hand. He stands behind the white shirt guy, waits a couple of seconds, then walks up, chops the guy in the leg first, which shows me he didn't really want to kill him. But the guy jumps around. The one other guy in the white shirt jumps around, and he's yelling and screaming. And once, who's obviously it's a black dude in the dark clothes sees blood, and blood excites people. It really does, like it or not. He starts whacking away on this guy, and this guy's obviously screaming and jumping around and doing completely ineffective shit. Now, here's the points I always try and make, and this is why I fucking hate all you college-educated retards, is because anyone from the ghetto, I know a fair amount of people that are either in the ghetto or close enough to the ghetto, it doesn't matter. If you're at the ATM and someone walks in, immediately they're looking at you. They're not going to pretend to not look at you like, I don't want to be rude. They're fucking looking at you. If they see a fucking axe in your hand, they are fucking running out of the ATM. They're not staying there, okay? When you're at the ATM and someone walks up behind you with an axe, run away. Do you understand? Just fucking run away. Don't sit and wonder what's going on. Now, the guy in the white shirt, but who, by the way, I believe is a small hat. And the reason why I said it, because one, he looks like one. But two, the story's in the front page for 2 days. And it almost always means a chosen person is a victim. Now, the guy getting hit with the axe lived. I don't think he died. But you can see blood all over the place. It's crazy bloody, right? And this guy's whacking away at him. The guy in the white shirt surely has a college education and a successful life, and the other guy doesn't. Okay, but what you don't get with your fucking expensive college certificates and your fucking smug arrogance that you're more sophisticated than these other people is that the dude with the fucking axe understands that your diploma don't mean shit here, right? This is not a job interview. This is him getting pissed. Now, not to sound like a liberal, but the guy with the axe, something went really wrong in his fucking life. Crazy wrong. I don't know. And he's probably high on drugs. Also, he whacks away at this guy, and then he also smashes the ATMs. This is critical to what I'm talking about. When I talk about when Weimar hits, when hyperinflation really hits America, this story is going to be everywhere. Right now, it's rare. It's a 1 in a million thing or 1 in 8 million thing. And you think, oh, that'll never happen to me. And it probably never will happen to you. But my point of the guy with the axe, like I said, everything went wrong. And where does he go to express his unhappiness? To the bank. He goes to where the money machines are, to where the money is. He sees white shirt guy who's wimpy, okay, who doesn't run, okay, who doesn't say, what the fuck you do with that axe, motherfucker? Right? He doesn't get confrontational. He just like turns away and pretends, oh, there's not a dude with an axe behind me. And again, if you watch the video, he walks up relatively calmly and whacks the guy in the leg first. You know, like almost like trying to hint at like, hey, run away. But the guy doesn't run away because his bank card or whatever the fuck. And this guy's like, okay, you want to be a victim? I'm going to make you a fucking victim. And then he starts wailing away at this dude. And this guy, you see, he's got his arms out. He's yelling and screaming. What the fuck are you going to say to a psychopath with a hatchet at the fucking ATM? How is your high verbal IQ, you know, your 2 standard deviations IQ going to fucking help you now, you dumb fuck? You should have fucking ran or punched the guy in the fucking throat. But you didn't do either because you don't know what the real world is like. This is the street. This insanity, right? Which is fun and everybody laughs, ha 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 ha, and you think it'll never happen to you, and it probably never will happen to you. But if you're one of these super high IQ geniuses, okay, and the reason why you're at the ATM is because you need fucking money. Now, if you live in mommy's basement and mommy pays for everything, and you never even have to go to the bank or the supermarket, well then, this is never going to happen to you. But sooner or later, you're going to have to leave the fucking house. And I'm telling you, when the money turns to shit, when the money turns to absolute shit, this will be a common sight. Because predators go to where the prey is, right? When you watch those fucking Africa documentaries about, you know, the riverside, life and death on the riverside, every animal, every fucking thing, the lions, the gazelles, everything goes down to drink water. Everybody's got to drink water, okay? The cheetah, the fucking water buffaloes, everybody's got to have water. And that's where all the hunting happens. That's where the predator-prey thing happens, right? All the zebras go as a group to try and drink water at once. Then the lion pops up. The fast zebras, the smart zebras, take off like a fucking shot. The old ones who are old and weak and can't run fast, things might not go too good for them. And the young ones who are too dumb to understand there's a fucking lion over there, they can also end up on the dinner table. Now, it's not an IQ question. It's a what you do in this situation question, right? And again, white shirt guy, I'm sure he can do taxes. I'm sure he can do a lot of complex shit, which is worthless, but he cannot confront the reality that there's a psycho with a fucking axe 5 feet away from him and he needs to fucking run. That's what I'm telling you. Right now, you can avoid this. Again, this is a 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million situation, blah, 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 blah. It's not likely to happen again. But some whack job, then there's lunatic people all over the place, whether they're crazy high on drugs or they're mentally ill or whatever. Sooner or later, they're going to get violent. They're going to push you in front of a fucking subway car, a subway train, or say, I don't live in New York. But you know what? There's ATMs everywhere, and there's hatchets everywhere. And Walmart sells machetes to anyone, okay? I try to tell people, you need to be aware of this. You don't believe this is ever going to happen to you. Oh, this is never going to happen to me. Never going to happen to me because I'm a good person, because I'm smarter than that. You've never been in that situation. You don't know what you're going to do. And if you're probably going to freeze. What you should do is just fucking run. Just run, 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 run. Leave your bank card, leave the cash, run. But that dude, like, how much does he have in the bank? If you ask somebody, how much do you have in your checking account right now? And they go, X dollars. Okay. Would you be willing to give up your X dollars, or would you let me hit you with an axe 10 times? People go like, fuck that, and I'll give you the money. I don't want to get hit with an axe. When you have time to intellectualize it. But the real world doesn't give you time to intellectualize it. You know what I mean? There's a dude with a pointy bad thing, and he's close to you. You need to fucking run. Get away. But you ain't, that's not going to happen to me. You better hope it doesn't happen to you. And if you do see somebody behind you at the ATM day or night, and they're holding something in their right hand, run. That's my advice to you. You got to be both kinds of smart. You want to think about whatever dumb fucking shit you think about, that's fine. But you need to understand the very physical reality of who does what to whom and where they do it, and when you're in danger and when you're not in danger, and then take steps to protect yourself. This is what I try and tell people. The real world is first you take the test, then you learn the lesson. Okay? That dude took the test at the ATM. I don't know, did he learn his lesson? Like, just fucking run? Hey, there's a large Negro sweating profusely, holding an axe behind you at the ATM. What do? What do? WYD, right? What you do. Perfect example. A lot of you guys know Jonathan Pohl. Jonathan Pohl went back to Kyrgyzstan, hadn't seen his family in 3 years, blah, 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 blah. He got a job in some small city called Kolmek, Kyrgyzstan. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to live in Kyrgyzstan. I won't starve to death, but, you know, I can have subsistence level life with my family in Kyrgyzstan, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then, as life is wont to do, fucking lightning strikes. Boom. He gets offered a job. I'm not going to be specific, but here in the United States, a good job with benefits, right? In the United States, in an area where there's pause, because there's pause everywhere, but it'd be fairly easy to avoid it. And like, he can't move fast enough to make this fucking thing happen. He's like scrambling like crazy to make this happen. Okay. And why? Because the incentive to make the kind of money he's going to make and to bring his family to the United States, right, is enormously strong. Okay. Whatever deal he made in Kolmek, peace out. Good luck, Kyrgyzstan. I'm getting the fuck out of here and I'm taking my family with me. Okay. That's the way real people act. Okay. And that's the way you're going to act. Like I said, all your ideology is bullshit. Everything you think is fucking bullshit. Okay. That dude in the white shirt, when the fucking axe is hitting him in the fucking neck, what was his political philosophy? What was his fucking, like, what was any of that? That's all bullshit. Now you got to survive, right? When it comes to a matter of survival, and if you have people who depend on you, it changes your behavior in ways you cannot imagine, right? You don't want to think about right now. And right now, if you have the government to shield you from that, or your family to shield you from that, all this sounds like flops. I sound like a crazy person. But sooner or later, the government's going to run out of money or decide to stop to protect you. They're not going to protect you anymore. And your parents are going to die and the money's going to run out. And then the rubber's going to meet the road. For some of you, that may be 5 years from now. For some of you, that may be never. I don't know. But I suspect you begin to prepare for it now and think about what you're going to do before the bad thing happens, to be prepared. That's what I try to suggest to people. That's why I suggest to you, you look at Calvin Dietz, when he's over toes guy, and you start thinking of how you can stay as strong and healthy as you can without spending a lot of money, okay, for as long as you can, because the services that you've come to expect, the level of civilization that you've come to expect is about to take a fucking dip. The stronger Bitcoin gets, the weaker the fucking empire gets. Okay? That's the nature of it. I'm arguing with people, you know, it's Ziggy the Polak. So he's a fucking boomer and a Polak. So God really fucking hates him. He cursed him twice. But, he's like, well, Bitcoin's not even real, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, dummy, when you're here, because he's a Trump humper. He's like, Trump this, Trump that. I said, when Trump first got elected, Bitcoin was $650. I said, when Trump got kicked out of office, and I don't give a fuck. When Trump was done, Bitcoin was $12,700. So from 650 to 12,700, it's a big jump. Okay, So what did Trump do for you? Whatever he didn't do nothing, because the thing that makes Bitcoin go up was going whether Trump was president or wasn't president. And shit, Obama, Bitcoin was zero, and it ended up at ended up at $650. To go from zero to 650, that's 44,000 million percent. I'm not good with the numbers, right? And now when Joe Biden was elected, Bitcoin was 12,700. Bitcoin today, $50,000. $50,000, right? That's a 300% increase, and it's not even a year. It's not even a fucking year. Money printer go burr. Okay, that's what runs the shit. It doesn't matter which puppet is in the White House. It doesn't matter. But the boomers and a lot of other people are like, oh, this is my guy. That's my guy. We're going to vote our way out of this. No, you're not. You aren't, right? We all know this, or at least most of us know this. And I try to convey this idea to people, and people think I'm crazy. I come off like a fucking loon, like a screaming psychopath. Well, right now in 2021, yeah, maybe I seem extreme. I promise you, in 5 years, I'm going to look like Casper fucking Milk Toast. I'm going to look like Casper Milk Toast. People are going to, if this channel even survives that long, probably won't. But if the people are going to look back at this and say, dude, why didn't you make your points better? Or why weren't you more persuasive? Why couldn't you have said this instead of that? Why did you hold back? Meanwhile, everyone today is going, this guy's a fucking whack job. He's foaming at the mouth. But think about 5 years ago, right? Think about 5 years ago. Think about where you were when Obama was on his way out and Trump was on his way in. And now think about where you are today. Try to imagine 5 years forward. Can you do that? Right? Imagine $650 Bitcoin. How many people here would sell their fucking left nut for $650 Bitcoin? Right? If someone said to you, like, here's the deal. I'm going to take one of your testicles, but you get to buy Bitcoin at $650. How many guys would go, fuck it, take both? You know what I mean? Fuck it, take both. I'll go get fucking whatever. I'll just go on testosterone treatment or something to buy $650 Bitcoin. What would you do? Would you mortgage your house? Would you sell your fucking car? What would you do? Right? One pair of shoes? Fucking, what would you do? Borrow from all your friends and your family? Of course you would. Because you go, oh my God, it's going to be 50 grand in 8 years. What I try to get people to do is look at Bitcoin now at $50,000 as of the time of this show, April 22nd, 2021, and think 8 years in the future. Try to think 8 years in the future. That's what I try to get across to people. And it doesn't work. It just fucking doesn't work. Why did I just smoke sulfur? The devil's here. I mentioned a cartoon, something called the American Dream film. It's a cartoon. It's about central banking. It's not a Bitcoin cartoon, but it's a great cartoon. It's like a South Park references, a Twilight Zone, and Back to the Future, and this, that, and the other. I try to show it. It's in 2 parts on YouTube. I try to show it to people. They watch the first part. They don't watch the second part. Like literally, the ideas that I'm talking about, in a cartoon format, and it's really well done. The audio's perfect. All the animations, everything's just, it's bang on, professional level. Nobody will fucking watch it. Because it's one of those, well, I don't see it happening, so it's not really happening. And then when it does happen, you're going to be like that dude at the fucking ATM. You're going to be going, hey, wait, stop. And boink, boink, boink. There goes your fucking fingers. And blood squirting out of your fucking neck. And you're wondering, you won't be thinking at the time. You're going to be fucking down at the animal level. You're going to be like that dude here. This is going to be you. I still got him up there, right? Whatever you think you are, this is what you're going to be. You're going to be able to picture at the bottom. You're going to be hanging on. You're going to be begging and fucking praying to fucking the guy in front of you. Please don't kill me. You see the picture at the bottom? He's hanging onto that guy's leg. He's begging him, please, please, please. And look at that guy standing over him, whacking away with the fucking axe. Your blood running out of you. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You feel hot and cold at the same time. Like, look at that. Look at that. I know it's never going to be you. But that guy, 5 minutes before that happened, never thought it was going to happen to him either. Right? I'm trying to convey to you there are a lot of different dangers. Okay, the physical dangers, there maybe not that many, but to be prepared for them. That's why you keep your feet strong and you keep your legs strong, so you can just fucking run when bad shit happens. Right? You don't want feet of clay. You don't want to try and move and then everything breaks underneath you and you fall down. You don't want to be that. You want to be the one that can just boom run. That's one thing. Not for nothing. Ghetto people, black people, they just fucking run. This they've learned over their lifetimes. One of them's running, they're all fucking running. They all just fucking go. Just in any direction. It doesn't make a difference. Just fucking run. It's your best chance of fucking survival. When bad shit randomly happens. And you don't think it's going to happen. Oh, it's only happening on social media. Yeah, right now. But, I promise you it won't last forever. It won't be forever like that. It will not be forever. But where am I? I guess I'm almost done with today. What else do I have to say? I mean, I've been ranting. How long have I been going? I don't know how long I'm going. Yeah, there's a couple other things, But this is, the memes that are floating around. Get rid of those guys that are floating around Twitter and other platforms. The ones like this, the ones I'm trying to warn you to go against. All right? That's what's his name? Schwab, Klaus Schwab, or whatever his name is. You'll own nothing and be happy. We'll be extremely happy. We will own everything and control you. Well, not if you have Bitcoin. All right? Try to avoid the future that guy wants. Okay? He will empty the asylums to where the axe wielders will be clogging the streets. You know what I mean? And he's the guy that controls that. And I'm trying to tell you, learn to outsmart that. It doesn't take much, and take care of yourself. And don't eat shitty fucking watermelon and brownies at the millionaire party. You know what I mean? Take the time to make a proper fucking watermelon salad, and you'll live a happier life. All my viewers dropped off. Why is that? It's 12:30. I guess everybody's got to go to sleep. Tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow's work day for most people. That's probably what it is. But I didn't know if Zoo is still here. Zoo might still be here. He's a little quiet in the chat, but yeah. Paxton's not here. Whatever. Okay, yeah. So it's a 1:24. Coming up about 90 minutes. How much longer could you go? Down to one viewer. Bitcoin at 50,284 as of this moment. Anyway, everybody that holds Bitcoin, congrats. Buy more. If you don't have Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, and learn to custody it yourself. And keep adding to your stack as much as you can, as often as you can, because this is going to be the most valuable thing going in the future. When what's her name? Andrea Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, when she becomes senator and Schumer gets out, she's going to introduce the Housing Equity Act of 2026, and they're just going to start taking houses from white people and giving them to brown people. You know what I mean? And what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do nothing about it. So everything that they can take from you, that they can tax from you, they will. The way to preserve your wealth and to be able to have something to pass on to Your children or your children's children is Bitcoin. Whether you see that or not right now, I don't know. I'm trying to urge people to do it now when it's still relatively advantageous to you. But if you want to wait until $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 Bitcoin, if you want, like, you're going to do it. Like, you're going to buy Bitcoin. You're going to. The question is, will you do it now when it's like cheap at 50 grand, or will you do it when it's 500,000? You know what I mean? Well, I like, how arrogant and how stiff-necked are you going to be? Don't know. But I urge you to be smarter and more humble now because it will pay off big in the future. All right. Anything else in the chat? Nothing else in the chat. Only 2 people watching, but we had a massive show for like 4. I think we had 5 people at one point. All right, guys. I'm gonna call stream, as they say, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for showing up, and let's see. Everybody stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys next week.